Hello there, it is me. And welcome back. Today we're going to be painting the head of a Warhound Titan. I've already kind of went ahead and started painting, so we're just going to finish it. So let's jump into it, my people. So here is the Titan's head. I did start it, but never finished it. So we're just going to be finishing it, because there still is a lot to do. The machine...
God has blessed me with such an amazing machine, because the flesh is weak and iron is...
let's hop into this painting tutorial. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and prime the Princept, and he's too weak to help us. I'm just going to prime them white. And let's hop to this bad boy. So the first thing I'm going to do is dry brush. I did spray it a gunmetal, but I'm going to dry brush it with some lead belcher. And there we are. Now it is all dry brush. Now we're going to pick out some like coppery bits, so like that little plaque and the Aquila. We are just going to use this. And here we are. So really the next thing to do with this, I'm going to give it a wash. The wash I'm going to use is Old Reliable. This, and I'm going to put a wash over the head plate as well too. And then we'll hop into weathering this and adding in chips and stuff on it. So let's put that wash on this bad boy. And here we are so far. So while this is drying, let's hop over to the pilots with it. So here is the first pilot. First thing we're going to do, we're going to pick out his little jump suit, and we're going to paint it yellow. The yellow we're going to use is this. Now the next coat of the paint is going to be for his helmet and the controls, and we're going to use this. And there we are. Now the next thing to do is move on to the brown bits, like his belt, those pouches, and his gloves. And we're going to use this. And there we are. Next thing to do, I'm going to take some of the copper and pick out that Equilla and just some other little details. And I'm going to take some yellow paint and red paint and pick out some of the cables. So let's hop into that. And here we are. I took some white and picked out that lens while that's drying, and I took some black Templar and picked out the joystick and his tubes. But we're gonna hop over back to black Templar and do some striping, because I want these guys to be kind of like their knight's scribe, or I don't know the term. What is the term? I don't know. Like a guy who helps out a knight. I forget the name. I don't have a brain for it. But that's kind of why they are wearing yellow jumpsuits, is because they're supposed to be holding their heraldry to their knight. So let's do some black striping on this suit. And there we are. I took some red and picked out his patch, and some blue to pick out the other one. Now I'm just going to do the visor, and I'm just going to use this. And there we are. Now the last thing we're really to do is just give him a black wash. And the wash we're going to use is Old Reliable. And there we are. Our little co-pilots are done. So let's hop back into the main head. The first thing I'm going to do is take white and pick out all of those little dials. So now when that's drying, let's hop over to the cover. We're going to add some chipping, and we're going to use Leadbelcher. And there we are. There's most of the chipping done. So now we're going to add a little bit of highlights to this chipping. So we're going to use this. And there we are. So I'm going to add some little oxidization to the gold trim. I'm going to use this. And then ta-da! Now that's pretty much done. Now let's hop back to the Gutty Works of this. So now I'm going to paint all of these dials the green. And there we are. Now we got a nice little glowing dash. Wait a minute. We need to paint the Princept. Let's hop to him. First thing we're going to do, we're going to pick up his cloak and everything with a red. Red we're going to use this. And there we are. I'm going to take some brown and pick out his seat and that little pouch right there. The brown I'm going to use is this. And there we are. Now I'm going to take some black Templars and pick out his boots. And then I'm going to take the yellow and pick out his chest plate. And there we are. Now while that yellow is drying, I'm going to take some of that copperish and pick out his little ranking on his shoulders. And here we are so far. I took some Leadbelcher and picked out some little silvery bits on his shoulders. Now we're going to take Black Templar and pick out the striping on his chest plate. And there we are. Now the last two things to really do is just give him a black wash and then paint his face. If you guys are interested on how I paint my faces, I did make a video on how I paint my faces, so go look through my channel and find it. And there we are. Now really the next thing to do is to pick out all the little dials and stuff. So make like range and like little scraps and dials on those little buttons and gauges and stuff. So let's hop into that. And that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you did enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I've always wanted a Titan. This one is not my favorite Titan. I think it's called the Reaver Titan. That's my favorite. But this is the first one I ever got. Very happy with him. But without further ado, enjoy this little montage.